I was, oh God, I hate this question.
Because you were awesome and always have been awesome.
Pretty much, yeah. No, I was that guy. I dated the homecoming queen. I was prom king, president of my class. Really, and
so you would have beaten up each of these guys.
No, but I was. I think this thing that set me apart actually was I went to this school. It was really great. It was actually in Orange County. It was a Ringo High School in the daytime, and then it was a performing arts high school from like 2 to 6 every day. And all the kids at the regular school, I'll call all of us like gay and everything because we were at the performing arts. But me and another friend of mine were kind of the two people that really kind of bridged the gap between the school and made singing and dancing kind of cool. So I mean that was a great experience for me to be able to do that. So.
Thanks for your service.
You're welcome, Jane.
My work here is done.
Leah, you went to Stage Door Manor. You must have had some experience with this. So I had to mention that I went there too, but like 20 years before you.
What are you talking about? But my high school experience, I'm so ignoring that you just brought that up right now. My high school experience was pretty normal because I was working in musical theater every night. Had been doing shows since I was so young. So when I was in school, I really wanted it to be about other things. So I played volleyball and I was on the debate team and things like that. And I tried to, not stick with sort of one group. And music was not a big thing in my school. It was so not cool. And there were no plays or musicals. If there were, like 2 people showed up, which is sort of sad. And my music teacher hated me, and she was so evil, and she just thought I was like the worst person in the whole world. So, that was my high school experience, and that's why I think like what's so great about our show is it just talks about the importance of that. And my relationship with Will is sort of like the relationship that I would have loved to have had with a teacher, in school that I never really got to sort of have. Yeah.
Mine was a little different. Well, I was at the bottom of the food chain, absolute bottom. I was the president of the writing club, which was me. That was the writing club. And every year we had to come out with a literary magazine full of my short stories. I ran our drama department. Well, not really. Don't write that. It was. My friends were the lunch ladies. Every lunch, I'd go hang out with them because they had soda. Because they had soda. Because they had soda. That was right when the ban happened. So I can definitely relate to the Glee Club because that was my life.
Well, and to be fair, you're talking about 6 weeks ago. It's not
high school last year. Yes.
My turn. I dropped out in the 9th grade and got a job at like a car lot, washing cars. Yeah, seriously. No, underprivileged.
That's quite a success story.
I guess so now. I'm glad it worked out this way. I'd probably still be working at Walmart if it didn't for fixing a roof or driving a taxi or something like that.
So was this your opportunity to live high school?
Pretty much, yeah. I didn't have a high school experience. This is it.
He can barely read his scripts.
Yeah. I get books on tape. I get Ian Brennan right here to get books on tape for me. And they read the scripts to me. Functionally illiterate.
Before I open up to questions from the audience, I'd love for you guys to say a little bit about working with Ryan Murphy, who created Nip Tuck and co-created this, and who I guess is in New York, filming a little movie with Julia Roberts.
Yeah, he's wonderful. He's a mad genius. I was new to this. Had not written a television show before, and kind of came in with Ryan and Brad, and could not have had more. It's an extraordinary, otherworldly experience working with these two. The kind of not only the creative mind and the kind of unbridled creativity and just like this weird like cerebral cortex that kind of like just shoots out crazy ideas, but also a very good, with Brad as well, like a very, very intense structural mind about the format of television, how you write a story and story arcs and through lines, which I don't have. So it's been amazing, the three of us writing together, and we always write together. Like it's such an amazing, by far the most creative, fulfilling creative experience I've ever had. Just extraordinary from start to finish. He's wonderful. Wish you could be here, Ryan. But just a fantastic experience. He's a wonderful, wonderful, awesome dude.
I've got to imagine there are questions in the audience, right? In the third row.
Hello. Thank you all for coming out. The show is just fantastic, and I hope it has a really long life. Earlier this week, Outfest had an amazing panel of writers and creators of musicals, and one of the people in attendance was the creator of High School Musical. And I wonder if GLEE was inspired by the High School Musical franchise, and do you have any sort of multi-platform stuff coming where cast albums are going to be made available? And a quick part two is, are we going to get to hear Jane sing?
Definitely. You're certainly going to see her dance, and you will hear her sing. I would say inspired by High School Musical in the sense that who wouldn't be inspired by something that is quite so successful? And in terms of the other stuff, Dante, I think.
Yeah, we have a partnership with Columbia Epic Records, and they're going to be releasing soundtracks, knock on wood, upcoming in November and December, in success of the show. Real quickly, off topic, but just to follow up what you said, I think one of the most remarkable things about this show is that it is created by three people, and that there's no mysterious room of writers churning this stuff out. There are three guys who sit on a couch and write one of these scripts every 8 days, and it's really remarkable. And I think it doesn't exist anywhere else, and particularly shows that consume so much story, so much plot, so much drama and comedy all at the same time. It's unique and really exciting to be able to work with them.
Just on the High School Musical thing, I imagine that you want the High School Musical audience, but you don't want to be just High School Musical. Is that a challenge to kind of, you're subverting so much of what's been done?
Did you ever see, I never saw it. Have you ever seen High School Musical?
I
don't think anyone's ever seen it. So I think it's easier. It's easier not to go there. I mean, it's not a challenge because it's like what Dante was talking about. We're just kind of sitting there coming up with what's interesting to us and what we think would be entertaining to people. And so since we're not people that would necessarily admit High School Musical, not that there's anything wrong with it, it just doesn't ever go there. It's sort of, the tone is keeping the tone just right, and that's also something that Ryan is quite brilliant at, keeping the tone just right, so that it's always walking that line, so it never, you can have a moment like the moment into the show, which is, almost musical, and there's certain, it could easily go treacly, it could easily go camp, and it doesn't, I think. So I do think it's not that challenging.
I think the great part about the show also is, like, that High School Musical doesn't have is the adult storylines in this show. It's so much about the adult relationships that are going on, which are so fascinating. I think we'll connect to it with a completely different audience than the High School Musical audience.
Will Jane sing?
Yes.